My name is Behnam Baghbaderani with Lonza, specialized modalities. I've been Lonza been focusing on developing cell and gene therapies since 15 years ago, and the technical roles in R&D, process development, and operations. Then 3 years ago, moved to the commercial. I'm responsible for the business development, account management, customer facing, and providing solutions to the customers. In the bio, obviously, my goal is to meet with the customers, build new relationships and expand the existing relationship, find the right solutions for the customers. And our customers are span from cell and gene therapies, focused on in vivo CAR T, mRNA, as well as microbial-based applications. But as you might know, Lonza is a CDMO that is actively developing and manufacturing on behalf of customers a wide range of therapeutic applications, from biologics to small molecules-based applications, all the way to what our business platform, which is called specialized modalities, that covers mRNA, in vivo CAR T, cell and gene therapies, as well as microbial-based applications.
Now, such a wide-ranging perspective gives you visibility into pretty much every corner
Exactly.
of the ecosystem. So also, because of your strong technical background, you're a very good person to ask what are the key challenges that you and also your customers are facing currently, or anticipating facing in the next couple of years.
Very, very good question. And indeed, that's one of the core topics that right now the entire industry is focused on. So over several years, for example, on cell and gene therapies, the focus was therapeutic effectiveness of these therapies or clinical effectiveness of these therapies. This is no longer the question. These therapies have proven to be successful treating patients, in some instances even becoming curative solutions. The focus currently in the industry is commercialization, commercial viability of these therapies, and accessibility to the patients, and obviously with that comes the questions of cost and cost reductions. So that's where we are, and Lonza as a CDMO, our prime focus is removing or reducing the manufacturing complexities, making sure that we offer commercially viable solutions to the customers.
So how do you reduce friction in that kind of system when it's so complex? You've got so many moving components, and there's change going on within those components, even as you're trying to reduce the friction.
Yeah, that's true, and that's the reality that we are facing. And here comes my core technical focus as well. One of the key core areas that I usually suggest the customers is to make sure that we have manufacturability assessment built into the strategy of developing the clinical plan and commercial launch plan. As a scientist, as a BioProcess scientist, I'm always fascinated by science, but I'm not surprised about the power of science. Where I am surprised is what it takes to take this science, cutting-edge science, into the industry, manufacturing and commercial, and that has been my life at Lonza. And one of the successes that I could say is my personal experience. I focused on establishing iPSC manufacturing platform.
Nice.
At the time that we were talking about induced pluripotent stem cells, nobody could even believe that you can manufacture these cell types in the GMP, not to mention even do the directed differentiation for therapeutic applications. So yes, we took on this challenge. It was very difficult to establish the GMP compliant manufacturing process for induced pluripotent stem cells, and it was even harder to establish the directed differentiation based for cell therapy applications. But again, here it comes the strategy. How do you go about the plan of attack for development and manufacturing? Having the right technical expertise, leveraging the right solutions, we were able to establish the GMP manufacturing for induced pluripotent stem cells. Then we started exploring the cutting edge science and technologies that are needed for directed differentiation. And we believe that the science we need to use cutting edge science. For example, scalability when it comes to the cell therapy applications is a major challenge. And when it comes to scalability, one could focus on traditional approaches for scalability. But we chose to actually use the cutting edge technologies, simulation technologies, computational fluid dynamic technologies to make sure that we have the right strategy for scalability. And we actually did it. We've been able to offer the customers these services. Some of these customers are going into the phase 1, phase 2, and we do exactly the same for autologous application. The problem statement now for autologous might be different than allogeneic cell therapies like iPSC-based cell therapies. But again, the same bioprocessing skill set, the same mindset and knowledge is critical to drive the success. Customers, but there is a public one that I can talk, and that's Vertex. Actually, we are establishing the end-to-end asset for Vertex in Portsmouth, and this is public. It's interesting. My life as a scientist at Lonza started in 2014, engaging with a company called Sema Therapeutics, Dr. Doug Melton and Dr. Felicia Pailuca. So we started the collaboration, and I was leading the group to start working on a scaling of the iPS and pluripotent stem cell based therapies for developing of beta cells. And that actually, we had a fantastic collaboration. Then Vertex acquired Sema Therapeutics. Vertex is amazing company when it comes to the taking the lead on industrialization. We continue that collaboration. For me to see this process moving from a small bioreactors, and we are talking about 100 ml bioreactors, all the way to an asset and larger scale asset, I take the pride in it. Of course, very privileged to have that kind of partnerships. But that has been one of the successes that I could share.
iPSCs for the word. Beautiful. Yeah. Right. So now that ties into, you've also put an emphasis on AAV development and technologies. Yeah. Could you talk a little about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So one of the core areas that we are focused on Lonza is the gene therapies, and here we offer development and manufacturing services and a wide range of the viral vector-based applications. So of course AAVs, Ad5 and lentiviral vector for different applications. And what is exciting actually in the context of commercial viability and helping with the scalability and reducing the cost, we've recently launched actually our new platform, producer cell line platform on AAVs called Excite. Nice. And that actually is significantly helpful when it comes to the scalability and making sure that we significantly reduce the development time and move into manufacturing in a scalable fashion. So that's one of the examples that we are focused on. Obviously, we offer development manufacturing services around the transient transfection as well, but I would say the producer cell line is one of the key areas. As we know, currently the in vivo CAR T and in vivo editing, gene editing, is actually taking huge interest and attention for cancer therapies, for rare disease and other applications. For us at Lonza, we've actually established the capabilities around the mRNA and LNP back to the COVID time, where we've set out to deliver the vaccine for COVID, Moderna vaccine for COVID. So building and expanding on expertise that we had, we've established the development and manufacturing services for for LNP and RNA-based applications, but also the services that we have for the viral vector. So we can develop and manufacture lentiviral vector or RNA LNP, and then these are offered as integrated solutions to the customers who are interested to take this in vivo CAR T and editing. Absolutely. I think I was just talking to some of the other colleagues and about bio. What I was over the last couple of years, there has been a lot of constraints, and constraints maybe is not a good word, but for good reason. some limitations about the fundings for some of the cell and gene therapies. So there is huge expectations in the field that cell and gene therapies and these cutting edge therapies need to develop. What I'm hearing from some of the customers that actually with the right focus and with the right partnership, commercial viability in mind, now some of these funding challenges are easing off, presenting the right plan to the funding agencies, of course, with the right regulatory plan. I think this is a positive news that I'm hearing, that these constraints are easing off positively and the therapy developers are able to move towards their clinical and commercial launch in a more positive manner, and that has been changed that I've seen. Also, the other thing that I could mention, recently I've seen some positive guidance from the regulatory agencies about the flexibilities. Exactly. Yeah. And those are positive, and I see that positive view from the customers, and I hope this is a momentum for us to push these therapies to where the patients are and make them more accessible to the patients.
That's a very nice positive note to end on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.